welcome back. It has been a minute, y'all. Basically, my son started daycare twice a week and he was getting sick a lot, so I was taking care of him. Anyway, so we have England. You'll notice nobody has masks on. This was 3 years ago, 2019, that we went on this trip. So this will be just pictures. We will do a vlog style next year when we go back to England and Scotland sometime next summer. Of course, there's steak and ale pie because that's my favorite. We do go to England and France more than any other European country just because we do have family there. So of course we want to see them and, have fun staying there. With that being said, a few tips for you guys. My husband has traveled recently to England and France. They keep losing luggage, especially in England at London Heathrow. So carry on if you can. So definitely bring your walking shoes. You can travel almost the entire country by train or bus, and the hop-on, hop-off buses as well. So bring your shoes because you'll save some money using their public system. I had actually sprained my ankle in Scotland a few days before we went to England, so you'll probably see in some of these photos I have like a blue thing on my foot. And we did the hop-on bus a lot because I could barely walk. When going to England, I would stay in London and then use the bus and train system to get to wherever you want to go in order to see the whole country. And here we have Windsor Castle. So Windsor Castle was built by William the Conqueror in the 11th century. Since Henry I, who reigned in 1100, it has been used by the reigning monarch and is the longest occupied palace in Europe. Windsor Castle is the largest inhabited castle in the world, and it also remains a functioning royal home. The royal standard of the United Kingdom is flown when a monarch is in residence in one of the royal places. It's the burial place of 11 monarchs, including Henry VIII and his wife, Jane Seymour, as well as Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Victoria and Prince Albert loved Windsor Castle, and Prince Albert died of typhoid in 1861. Queen Victoria built a mausoleum on the grounds, and Albert and later Victoria herself were buried there. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were married at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle in 2018. Queen Elizabeth II died on September 8th, 2022. After her funeral at Westminster Abbey, her coffin was transported to Windsor and it was carried up the Long Walk at Windsor Castle in a ceremonial procession. A committal service was then held at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. There's so much more history here, about 1,000 years of history, so I'm not going to go into everything, but you can look it up online, or when you go to the castle yourself, you can get a tour. Expect the tour to take about 3 hours. Lecoq Abbey is a country house developed over the centuries around a former 13th century nunnery, and is the birthplace of modern photography. It was the home to the Fox Talbot family. In the early 19th century, William Henry Fox Talbot invented the photographic negative. You recognize these grounds as it is from films like Pride and Prejudice and one of my favorites, Harry Potter. We got there from London by taking a bus from London to Lecoq. From there, it took us to Bath, and then after Bath, it took us to Stonehenge, and then back to London, all in one day. So I do highly recommend taking these day trips so you can see the beautiful views of England. All right, the next little bit is us pulling into Bath. So Bath was founded by the Romans as a thermal spa, and it became an important center of the wool industry in the Middle Ages. And then in the 18th century, under King George III, it developed into an elegant town with neoclassical Palladian buildings, which blend harmoniously with the Roman baths. Bath was founded in the 1st century AD by the Romans, and they used the natural hot springs as a thermal spa. The city of Bath exists because around 1863 BC, Prince Balud discovered the thermal springs, and according to legend, he was cured of leprosy after bathing in the hot, muddy waters. Definitely take your time in the city, walk the streets, get lost. It's kind of like Venice. definitely stop at the Cornish bakery. It is so good. The Cornish pastries are delicious. We found out the reason why they made them is so that miners could take them to work, eat it, leave the crust because their fingers were dirty, and just throw the crust out. Stonehenge was built in several stages. The first monument was an early hinged monument built about 5,000 years ago, and the unique stone circle was erected in the late Neolithic period about 2500 BC. In the early Bronze Age, many burial mounds were built nearby. Expect lots of walking. They also have a really nice gift shop. When we went, there was an audio tour you could take, and we did do it, and it was great. If you find a small pub, I highly recommend eating there because they usually have fantastic food. And we returned to London. I recommend getting a hop-on, hop-off bus pass. This is a panoramic view of Piccadilly Circus. It's one of the bigger stops on the hop-on, hop-off bus. If you can't tell, my favorite thing about going to Europe is the architecture and the food. Our favorite treat while we're in Europe is always to get gelato, and we found this fresh gelato place. It was a little expensive, but so good. This is platform 9 3/4, which is Harry Potter's shop, and it's located inside King's Cross Station. They've got a picture taking opportunity here for you, and you can see where I hurt my foot. We're back in Piccadilly Circus. We got back on the bus, and then this is the theater district. So that's the London Eye. There's a drop off near Thames River, and you can do so much in that area. Definitely get the river tour when you get the hop on, hop off bus tickets. It's definitely worth it. This is bomb damage left over from World War II. London Bridge. The London Wall was a defensive wall first built by the Romans around a strategically important part of town in around 200 AD. This is the Tower of London. I do recommend doing the tour and seeing the crown jewels. We were told that this was the royal grocery carriage, but I think the guy was just pulling our leg. The Marble Arch. Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. This is more of the Tower of London. And this is a much better view of the London Wall. Okay, you have to go to the Warner Brothers studio tour for Harry Potter, but book your tickets in advance because they sell out. So this took us a while to get through the trains, and then once you get off the train, there's a bus that you get on, and that bus will take you to the studio, or you can get a taxi. On the way back, we had the last one that you could do, the last tour. So we actually ended up having to take a taxi all the way back to London in our hotel. The tour took about 4 hours total, so do plan on eating there. They also have really good food, and the butterbeer ice cream is amazing.
Special effects are different to visual effects. Special effects are practical.
Oh my god.
We did do some of the green screen stuff. We did dress up, and then we also got to ride on a broom, which was really cool.
Up and down, round and round, over quite a wide range of access points.
Definitely don't forget your butterbeer, and then lots and lots of gifts in the gift shop as well. As always, thanks for watching, and let me know if you plan on taking a trip to England soon.